Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for coming to this presentation. I'm glad to see you all. Let me introduce myself and my partner. I am Jemmy Paramitha and my partner is Rahmi Yuliarni, Rahmadani, Annisa Amanda, and Angelina. We are from Group 5. In this presentation, we will discuss about cross-cultural understanding and socializing in China. First, I will explain to you about what is the culture. Culture is a society's group system of shared learned values and norms. These are the society's group designed for living. What is cross-cultural understanding? Cross-cultural understanding means how to understand about the culture from different countries and another type of relationship between different people which from many countries. Why is cross-cultural communication important? 1. Because it is important to respect other cultures and religions. Because people of that culture, people of that religion, they deserve basic respect you would want for yourself. 2. Because through communication we build new relationship. 3. Because communication help us to transmit or connect. What do you know about Chinese culture? Chinese culture is one of the world's oldest and most complex. The area in which the culture is dominant covers a large geographical region in Eastern Asia with custom and tradition varying greatly between towns, cities, and provinces. Some dimension of culture: 1. Race, 2. Gender, 3. Language, 4. Belief and religions, 5. Ethics, 6. Attitudes and behaviors, 7. Preference, 8. Custom and values, 9. Rules and norms. First, race. Some people view race as skin color, nationality, and their human species. Sociological definition of race: a category of people who have been singled out as inferior or superior, often on the basis of real or alleged physical characteristics such as skin color, hair texture, eye shape, or other subjectively selected attributes. Race in China, skin color. There seems to be a similar rank in skin tone across people in general to the rank seen across people of European ethnic origin, but added to that, they appear to them better, giving them even more variation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, this is me Rahmi Yuliarni, BP 1901061034 from 2B of Business Administration class. We will continue the material about cross-cultural understanding and socializing in China. There are some dimensions of cultures from China. The first one is race and second one is gender consideration. Number 2. Gender consideration. The traditional belief of the Chinese culture has always placed the man in front of the woman. The men are thought to be the superior of the two genders. The men are thought of as the breadwinners of the family, and the women are thought of as the caretakers. This belief has fed into the idea that men play the more important role in society and also the more important gender. Next, women in the workplace. The Chinese businesswoman has an opposing view. Even though there are laws in place, they create equality for the women, there are still obstacles that they have to work around. And then, gender roles in Chinese family. The woman's primary job is to take care of her husband, children, and any other people within immediate family. Along with that, her biggest duty is to provide son. Contrary to common belief, this was actually a highly respected position, and it was thought of as an honor to take care of your husband and children. Elderly women in the family are also highly respected, especially if they survive their husband. They are thought of as the eldest member of the family. The men are thought of as a head of family. They make all of the decisions and are expected to provide for their family. Number 3 is language. There are 7 major groups of dialects of the Chinese language, which each have their own variations. According to Mount Holyoke College, that group or Mandarin dialects are spoken by 71.5% of population, Wu 8.5%, Yu also called Cantonese 5%, Shang 4.8%, Min 4.1%, Hakka 3.7%, and Gan 2.4%. The fourth one from dimension of culture in China is beliefs and religion. The main religion are Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, Islam, Catholicism, and Protestantism. Citizens of China may freely choose and express their religious beliefs and make clear their religious affiliation. Buddhism spread from India to China some 2,000 years ago. The majority of Buddhist believers are Han Chinese, while Buddhist believers in Tibet also make up a sizable portion. They are typically from the Tibetan, Mongolian, Loba, Moingba, and Tujia nationalities. Buddhists make up the largest religious communities in China. However, since many Han practice a historical or cultural Buddhism rather than a daily practice, it can be difficult to count the exact numbers. Taoism is native to China and has a history more than 1,700 years. Its founder was Lao Tzu, and its doctrine are based on his writings about the Tao or the Way. Taoism is centered on the three treasures, which are humility, compassion, and frugality. You are probably already familiar with some of the symbolism of Taoism without even realizing it. The famous yin and yang symbol is a foundational illustration of Taoism beliefs. In it, we can see the important harmony in the Taoist tradition.
Many beautiful mosques dot the landscape with traditional Islamic architecture. Islam spread from the Arab countries to China more than 1,300 years ago. It now has more than 14 million believers among the Hui, Uyghur, Kazakh, Uzbek, Tajik, Tatar, Kyrgyz, Dongxiang, Sala, and Banan ethnic group. The Islamic followers mainly live in province of Xinjiang, Ningxia, Banzhou, and Qinghai in northwest China. There are also Islamic communities started in almost every city. Chinese Muslims do not eat pork, dog, donkey, or mouse. There are many famous mosques in China that make excellent stop on religious tour of Chinese culture. Christianity, Catholicism, and other forms of Christianity began to make their way into China very early. Today, there are many famous churches that make for interesting religious visits. Now, there are more than 3.3 million Catholic and nearly 5 million Protestants in the country. Learn more about Christianity in China. 5. Ethics. The ethics of eating in China. 1. Do not eat the dumpling in one go. 2. You cannot put soy sauce on fried rice. 3. use your hand properly to hold the teapot. And 4. Never flip a fish. 6. Attitude and behaviors. Burping is a response as a form of respect or satisfaction in China. Burping is a response as a form of satisfaction with food and a sign of pride for the chef. Pointing at that person is rude. The thing is usually done using a hand with hand pointing up and finger flat. This is something you should remember when on vacation in China, because maintaining good manner when traveling is important. Spitting is common. Don't be surprised if you see a lot of people spitting in China. Public and indoor transportation is a natural thing for Chinese society. In China, people usually take naps on the street. Naps are common in China, and you will often see them asleep on the train, bus, car, or just them right placed on the street. When eating, never stick food that you are parallel to the bone of rice. This chopstick position is only used when offering food for the dead. This is bad luck. Don't climb the bill when you eat. This is very rarely done in China. When eating together, usually the person who is more senior or the party who invite you to pay. Forcing to pay too is quite offensive in China. However, if you eat with friends of the same age, this is still quite natural to do. 7. Preference. Chinese traditional festival and event. Chinese New Year, Lantern Festival, Shangxi Festival, Duanwu Festival, Xingji Festival, Ghost Festival, Mid-Autumn Festival, Double Nin Festival, Zonghe Festival, Spirit Festival, Water Lantern Festival, Donzi Festival, and Laba Festival. Chinese food. Chinese food is famous all over the world, but you may be shocked by its surprising range and variety of ingredients if you have only eaten in Chinese restaurants abroad. Chinese food has countless delicious and fantastic dishes, and people from different have different cuisine tips, which can be bland, sweet, salty.
Okay guys, now I continue our presentations about the Chinese food. My name is Annisa Amanda. You can call me Nisa. My student ID is 190062010. Talking about Chinese food, the first image jumping out of most people's mind is about of dumplings. This is the dumplings pictures. Dumplings to Spring festivals is like turkeys to Thanksgiving. On the New Year's Eve, family members usually get together to make dumplings on their own. So as time goes by, dumplings has now become a symbol of family reunion and happiness in China. There are various cooking methods of dumplings. They can be made of rice, meat, vegetable, beef, and mushroom, and can be steamed, fried, roasted, stewed, and baked. Its combinations generate a new taste that can activate your appetite. Okay guys, next I want to tell you about Chinese food culture. A Chinese meal is consistent of two parts. Staple food, normally made of rice, noodles, or steamed buns, vegetable, and meat dishes. This differs from Western meal, which take meat or animal protein as main dish. The primary eating utensils are chopsticks for solid foods and ceramic spoon for soups and congees. In a Chinese meal, everyone will have their own rice bowl. However, the accompanying dishes will be served in communal plates and shared by all people. Normally, the dishes are often eaten together with a mouthful of rice.
Cold dishes. Cold dishes are the first course in traditional Chinese banquet. Salt, sugar, chili powder, like sauces, vinegar, and sesame oil are often used to make cold dishes. Cold dishes attach great importance to the designing of the dish, which is the shape of the dish. Normally, cold dish can provoke people's appetite. Hot dishes. Hot dish is a concept comparing with cold dish. Normally, main course is also called hot dish. Hot dishes are normally cooked using techniques like stir-frying, deep-frying, and quick-frying. Soups. Instead of adding milk or cream into the soup, Chinese soups are adding refined starches from corn to thickening the soups. There are also light soups, which don't use starches. Normal ingredients for soups are vegetable and meat, like pork and chicken. Soups are served following the hot dishes. Chinese people believe that soups are good for health. Kanje. Kanje is a kind of porridge, except for rice and other cereals, meat, fish, and sometimes vegetable and flavoring are added into the kanje. Kanje is a good choice for breakfast. Kanje is easy to digest, so it's a good choice of ill people and young infants. Staple food. Rice is the staple food in southern China. For southern China is the rice farming areas. People always eat steamed rice. While in northern China, which is a wheat farming area, people normally eat flour-based food, like noodles, mantou, a kind of steamed buns, and dumplings. Sauchi. Sauchi are a kind of snacks. They are often sold in street stalls or small restaurants. Normally, one stall only sells one kind of snacks. Sauchi is kind of like meal and is often self-contained and easily portable. Different regions have different sauchi. They are very popular among tourists and local people.
Next, I will tell you about Chinese historical places. China has a history of thousands of years, which give it a lot of historical sites. The most significant are:
First, the Great Wall in China.
The Great Wall of China is one of the protected sites in the world. It's an ancient defensive architecture. The Long Wall has a long history, more than 2,300 years. It was built in different areas by different states of these dynasties to protect different territorial borders. The entire Great Wall of China zigzags across the mountains of northern China. We highly recommend hiking along the best protected sections of the Great Wall.
Second, the Forbidden City in China.
The Forbidden City, or the Palace Museum, is one of the most visited attractions for travelers to China. It used to be an imperial palace in the Ming and Qing dynasties. The layout of this palace is strictly according to Chinese Feng Shui theory.
Third, the Potala Palace. Fourth, the Mogul Grottos.
Next, I will tell you about custom and values.
First, Chinese wedding.
Chinese wedding. In China, the color red is considered to symbolize good luck. The color is also believed to keep away evil spirits. It's therefore no surprise that traditional Chinese weddings outfits almost always feature the color red. The traditional Chinese clothing.
Second, the traditional Chinese clothing.
Traditional Chinese clothing. There are three main types of traditional Chinese clothing are
First, the pinfu. Second, the changpao. Third, the senyi.
Okay, thank you. First, let me introduce. My name is Angelina. I will continue our discussion, and now I will talk about traditional Chinese clothing. Three main types of traditional Chinese clothing are: first, the pinfu; second, the changpao; third, the senyi. The pinfu. The pinfu was the most popular Chinese dress by far. It was a two-piece outfit that contained a tunic that goes down to your knee. Underneath the tunic, they wore a skirt that goes down to their ankles. But the pinfu would not be the pinfu without the pin, a cylinder-shaped hat. This is a very unique custom that was kept for special ceremony. Next, the changpao. The simplest of all traditional Chinese clothing, it is essence the changpao dress was a fusion of the senyi and the pinfu. It was a one-piece suit that started from the height of the shoulders and extend down to the wearer's ankle. And last, the senyi. The senyi is the modification of the pinfu, but the unique things about this dress is that both pieces are stitched together, so it looks like a very long sweat dress. And next, 9. Rules and norms. Rules and norms. Cupcakes are never placed upright in a rice bowl. Burping is considered a sign of gratitude. Gift will be refused a number of times before it's accepted. Police will sometimes use gifts instead of guard dog. Tipping can be seen as offensive. You may ask to take photo with local compliment, so don't be accepted graciously. Speaking loudly in public is common. Okay guys, so that is from us. I hope that can be able useful for all of you. I'm sorry if there a wrong word. Thank you for your attention.